we have a huge Intercontinental Championship match between Gunther and Rey Mysterio. The Usos address the Brawling Brutes, and we also hear from Bray Wyatt. Hey guys, how you all doing? The Wrestling Guy back here today, and welcome to another episode of SmackDown Breakdown, the series where we break down everything that happened on this week's SmackDown, talk about some of the matches, talk about moments that happened backstage, and obviously, the last SmackDown before Crown Jewel. What does this all mean? Are there any last minute hints or teasers that we need to pick up on? We're going to break it down, all down for you guys in this video, so if you guys do go on to enjoy, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe as always. Thanks so much for the support you've shown in the past couple of videos. It's been fantastic. I really hope you guys are enjoying the content. And without further ado, let's break down this week's episode of SmackDown. So, we would kick things off with a no disqualification match between Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville. Now, this storyline has kind of been picking up over the past couple of weeks. Liv Morgan obviously going through this changing character since losing her SmackDown Women's Championship against Ronda Rousey. And we're kind of seeing this different side to Liv Morgan coming out. Sonya Deville doing a fantastic job as well at the minute. Great to see her actually back in the ring. It's been a little while since we've seen her do some in-ring stuff, so that's really good to see. These two clashing heads at the minute, I think it's working really well. And what better way to set the rivalry than with a no disqualification match? So, there were a couple of moments by both women in this match that they had some pretty good offense. We saw the use of weapons, the Sonya Deville using the kendo stick, and Liv Morgan would return the favour and use the kendo stick of her own as well. We would see moments throughout the match like Liv Morgan put Sonya Deville through a table. We do know that Liv Morgan does like doing that at the minute. We've seen her do it a couple of times, so she's liking the tables at the moment. And we would see Deville deliver a huge powerbomb out of the corner into a pile of steel chairs. So this match lived up to everything you'd expect from a no disqualification match. I think no disqualification matches, they really fit nicely when you've got a nice little rivalry going. I think when you've kind of got two superstars who haven't really been in the ring with each other before, and you kind of stick them together in a no disqualification match, it kind of doesn't have that same meaning. Whereas this one, you knew that these two girls are hating each other at the moment, and they just want to go at each other and deliver as much punishment to the other one as they can. No disqualification match yet. That gives a big thumbs up from the Wrestling Guy. This was a really good match. Like I said, the use of weapons I think is great. Nothing worse than a no DQ match where you see no weapons used at all. Completely pointless, so I'm so glad that they utilised this well. So I think that this was a good match, and obviously Liv Morgan would hit the Oblivion 1, 2, 3, and we would win the match over Sonya Deville. So Liv Morgan again on the ride of her life at the minute. Interesting to see what happens going forward with Liv Morgan, and like I said, this changing character. What does this mean going forward? Looking forward to seeing what happens with that. Coming up next, we have got Ricochet versus LA Knight. So LA Knight would make this match with Ricochet mean something. Going personally targeting his opponent's girlfriend, which also we now know as ring announcer Samantha Irvin. Which I didn't actually realise until I read this. I thought that Ricochet was still in a relationship with Casey Catanzaro, but there we go. A little bit rusty there for the Wrestling Guy, clearly. So, like I said, this just all kind of played into LA Knight's heel character that he's doing at the minute, where he's kind of turning on the fans and kind of showing that he can do it on his own. He doesn't need the fans, he doesn't need anyone else, and he's kind of putting the rest of the WWE locker room on notice. So, it was a great start. It kind of got that extra bit of spice going ready for the match, so that's always good to see. There were some good spots in this match. I mean, LA Knight doing the smart wrestling moves like grabbing Ricochet's foot. We all know that Ricochet likes to spend most of his time off of the ground for his moves. So, like I said, injuring the foot, going after the foot is a good spot. I did pick up on Ricochet's attire choice as well, the blue and pink, the pink and black. Sorry, and this initially my brain skipped straight to Bret Hart for this one. I thought that it played straight to the Hitman. So I don't know if that was a tribute or anything, but yeah, that was really cool to see. Um, and there was some near falls in this match. The shooting star press from Ricochet only got him a 2 count, so that was interesting. It's been a while since Ricochet has really been involved with anything of particular significance. We've seen him kind of have various spots over the past couple of years where he's kind of floated in and out. Obviously, he had his little stint with the Intercontinental Championship. But even that, I don't think went as far as it could have. I think they could have definitely utilised Ricochet a little bit more. I personally think LA Knight and Ricochet have potential to have a good storied rivalry. I'm hoping that they kind of make more of this because they played on it with the fact, like I said, LA Knight coming out and insulting his partner. And I'm hoping we see more of this. I'm hoping we see more of Ricochet and more of LA Knight because these are two great superstars. LA Knight would hit the 1, 2, 3 and LA Knight would defeat Ricochet and win the match. So fair play to him on there. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out for the next couple of weeks on SmackDown and see what happens. Coming up next, we have got we hear from Bray Wyatt again. So this Bray Wyatt storyline, obviously dating back to Extreme Rules, where we saw the return of Bray Wyatt. Now this has been interesting. It's kind of been propelling over the past 4 weeks or so. We've kind of been seeing these little clues. We saw, which was quite a big part of the storyline last week. We saw Uncle Howdy. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. We're still not being told huge amounts about what this actually means, though, which is kind of a little bit annoying. From my perspective, I'm hoping that this kind of means that Bray Wyatt's going to kind of be tormented by this Uncle Howdy, and it's going to end up driving his kind of devilish side out of him. And obviously, we'd see Bray Wyatt backstage. He would be talking about how he's trying to express himself to the fans. He's trying to open up, and he keeps getting interrupted by this person who keeps interrupting, which we now know as Uncle Howdy. And then with that, a member of the crew would come and interrupt him when he's cutting his promo, which would result in him going up to him and saying about how he was going to use violence and things like that. And he manages to restrain himself. I'm really liking this. This is kind of showing a very Jekyll and Hyde type feel to it. It's very Bray Wyatt's trying to open up and use his be himself, and it almost feels like he's being forced to use his darker, more edgier side. I'm really excited to see what happens with this in a couple of weeks, and obviously Crown Jewel as well. We will have to see what happens there because we're doing Bray Wyatt's going to be in Crown Jewel. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully something that will give us a little bit more info about what's happening with the storyline, but we'll see. Back in the ring, we would have the Undisputed Tag Team Champions, the Usos, coming down to the ring to cut a promo regarding their title defence at Crown Jewel against Ridge Holland and Butch of the Brawling Brutes. We would then see an interruption by the New Days, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. And they would come down to the ring and would say about how they're stating their intention to challenge for the gold. They want the gold, and then we would see the Brawling Brutes come down and attack the Usos. And then obviously, as you'd expect, Solo Sikoa and Sami Zayn would come down to the ring. And then we would see the Brawling Brutes try and take them all on. The spinning solo from Solo Sikoa, which is an awful name for a move, by the way. Spinning solo, I mean, there's no creativity in that whatsoever. I'm really hoping that they do look at that and change that very soon. And I think this segment did everything that it needed to do. It kind of set up nicely for Crown Jewel. The Brawling Brutes versus the Usos should be a fantastic match, so I'm looking forward to that one and seeing what happens. And it's kind of opening up a little bit of info about what's going to happen after Crown Jewel as well. So we obviously know the New Day are on notice. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. So we're going to have to see what happens on there. Up next, we would have a one-on-one women's match between Natalya and Shayna Baszler. Now, last week on SmackDown, we would see Shayna Baszler choke out Natalya when she was talking to Ronda Rousey. So this was going to be interesting. And what I liked about this is Ronda Rousey, the SmackDown Women's Champion, actually accompanied Shayna Baszler down to the ring. And what the bit that I'm really loving about the stuff they're doing with Shayna Baszler is it's almost like Ronda Rousey's trying to help Shayna Baszler rediscover that killer instinct like she had in NXT. Shayna Baszler, when she was in NXT, was one of my absolute favourites. I massively am a big fan of Shayna Baszler. How, since she's moved up to the main roster, she hasn't won a championship yet, I don't know. But if this is the beginning of an NXT brand style Shayna Baszler, then you're going to have a very happy wrestling guy, because I think that would just be absolutely amazing. Now, just keeping on topic with the match, Rousey would continue to make herself known. She wasn't in the match, but she would be mocking the fans. She'd be and she'd be kind of like playing that heel character really well. I'm wondering who's going to be the next challenger for Ronda Rousey. Obviously, she's not got a match at Crown Jewel. Liv Morgan kind of seems to have turned her attentions over to Sonya Deville for the time being. So where's this going? Where's this storyline going? Who do you think is going to be the next challenger for the SmackDown Women's title? Let me know down below in the comment section. See what you guys think. We also have heard from the Nigerian giant Omos, and Braun Strowman, obviously ahead of their match at Crown Jewel. This was okay. It was again very similar to the Braun and Brutes one, and Usos. It kind of did what it needed to do. Braun Strowman was living up to his usual monster and non-monsters thing. He's bawling over members of the local talent backstage, and it was just drumming up that intensity and that interest for the match at Crown Jewel. From watching the press conference yesterday, if you guys haven't watched that, I thoroughly recommend you go and check that out, because it was really, really good. We did see Omos and Braun Strowman have a face-to-face confrontation. Yeah, like I said, we spoke about this in detail in the predictions video. So if you guys are interested, go and check that out. It's a really good watch. But yeah, this match just isn't doing it for me. I'm hoping that I'm surprised by this, and I'm hoping that these two actually do put on a good, hard-hitting match, and I come away feeling a little bit more happier. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, another promo just building up that hype for the match at Crown Jewel. We would then have a pre-taped promo from Legado del Fantasma, and they were basically talking about their rivalry with Hit Row and how it was going to continue. I'm loving the stuff they're doing with Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. I'm a big fan of both of the groups. I've always been a big fan of Legado del Fantasma. Was never a huge fan of Hit Row, but since they've come back, I've kind of really opened up to them. I think they're really, really good. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this rivalry goes going forward. Hopefully it will involve the tag titles at some point, but we'll see what happens with that. And then I believe we come on to our main event, which was for the Intercontinental Championship. It was Rey Mysterio versus Gunther. Now, we do know that Rey Mysterio won that Fatal 4-Way #1 contender match to earn the right to face the Intercontinental Champion Gunther on SmackDown. Now, I think obviously Rey Mysterio was the sentimental favourite going into this match to win, and it was kind of I knew from the beginning that Gunther was going to win this match. You look at the people he's beat recently. He's beat Solo Sikoa, he's beat Ricochet, he's beat Sheamus, and you think like this guy's on a roll at the moment. I can't see him, for storyline purposes, taking the belt off of him and putting it on Rey Mysterio. So that was that one there. The ring general, he would dominate the early part of this match, and there'd be the typical Rey Mysterio fashion of, just as you think Rey Mysterio's going to start making his way back into the match, he just gets beaten down again, which is great. The typical Imperium fashion. Obviously they are bruisers, so that'd be interesting to. That was always interesting. Yeah, as I said, some good moments throughout this match, very back and forth, especially towards the end. Mysterio would deliver some big moves like his springboard bulldog, and obviously he would deliver the code red for a great near fall. Gunther would launch his challenger from the top rope, showing his size and power. And then obviously he would do his traditional shotgun drop kick and power bomb. 1, 2, 3. Gunther defeats Mysterio to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Now, one thing I do want to say about this match is that these two had fantastic chemistry in the ring together. For two guys that haven't actually been in the ring together before, these two worked really, really well. And Gunther, I think, especially, is doing a great job as IC champion at the minute. I think he's doing a fantastic job. Who will my question? Who will be strong enough to actually take the belt away from Gunther? Like I said, Sheamus, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, Solo Sikoa, some big names in there that haven't actually been able to wrestle the belt away from Gunther. Who is going to be able to actually dethrone Gunther? Let me know down below in the comment section. And that does wrap up another week of SmackDown. So, really hope you guys enjoyed. That is this week's episode of SmackDown Broken Down. The big premium live event this weekend is Crown Jewel, so please make sure that you guys enjoy that. Really hope you guys do enjoy it. Myself and the chairman of the board will be checking it out, and we will be dropping a review video very, very soon for you guys. Hit the thumbs up button and join the chairman of the board on Monday for Raw Reaction. Thanks a lot, guys.